This is the only content ecosystem you will need to build your foundation and to grow your brand on a longer time horizon. And from this alone, you can make $20,000 per month or even $100,000 per month. That totally depends on what you do. And so, as you can see, there is a lot of text here. So I will keep this very brief because if I read this word by word, it will be a 2 hour video. And I will start from here. So let's get into it. And it doesn't depend on AI or trends or virality or algorithm changing that keeps on happening every 6 months. It will be a solid, foolproof foundation for you so that you can play with the algorithm and the ads and whatever you would like to and grow your brand at a steady rate. So you may be asking like why even consider looking at this sheet? Because this solves your problem of finding your best customers, building client trust with results and your mechanism, making sales process significantly easy, and making you visible to them with curiosity for you and your company. Platforms to post content on, types of content to post, and strategy behind those posts and originality of your voice. And content that brings in leads and nurtures them on autopilot with a step-by-step breakdown. And showcasing client wins and leaning towards marketing-based conversion rather than trying your luck on sales calls and leaking perfect leads. And the most of the work for you will be building foundation. After that, it streamlines and is easy for you. And we will provide you with everything you just have to record. And it's a complete solution, not just tactics. So while this may initially appear overwhelming, it's a complete solution. And it's fully customizable because every business is different and it needs to be tweaked to fully represent your brand. And that personalization depends on your necessities. So it is a quick guide of what each page contains. Page 1 is who this is for and why you should be aiming to be different. Page 2 is brief content overview and things you need to change and why this matters. Page 3 contains the three phases to create your ideal client profile, every content idea you need, and platform selection to begin with. Page 4 continues with packaging, hooks, content schedule, making offers, flywheels, ads, lead generation, bonus phase for people that want to scale to $100K per month or more. Team building, AI and automation, leads and followers. And page 5 is our goal, which is to make content that eliminates the need for sales calls or long sales calls and ease the buying journey of a prospect, sequence the onboarding process, and make ads to convert, and how to close in the DMs after reading every page, every step. So I may have missed something, but you will get through multiple things in this. So first is who this is for. This is for you if you want to grow without being a cringe guru, are already growing your brand but hit a plateau and need a breakthrough. You want to build social media following for your brand. You want to sell something on social media but don't know what to sell or how to sell it. Your skills, knowledge, idea, and want to start growing your brand on social media. You want to go viral on social media and gain massive amounts of attention. And you already have an offer, service, or product, but you are not making nearly as much as you would like to. And you want to gain influence and recognition in front of your ideal audience. And you want to take your social media on next level and get omni-channel presence. So why you should be different? If you don't want to follow internet gurus who tell you to post 10 times a day, give value, DM 100 people daily, only to get freebie seekers as audience and realizing after months your brand doesn't make you cash. With authentic content, it immediately separates you from your competition, positions you as relatable authority with massive trust, grows your brand faster and harder hitting content, allows you to sell more product more effectively, and lets you be exactly who you are without putting a facet for your audience. And here are some content strategies like you can only grow on one platform at a time, sell with stories, storytelling, no educational content, and start sharing about you and your world, your unique ways of doing things. Give your audience an aspirational identity to aim towards. And don't be cheaper, raise prices. Do it for 90 days continuously. Stop selling to follow. People don't buy business, they buy people. Do more long form and around your offer. And organic content and paid advertising. So putting what worked best for content in ads. This is all about organic content, this whole sheet and this whole video. Are a different thing there. But if you do this right, you will get much higher returns on ads. A great amount of return on ad spend because you have your organic content and you have something where you can push people and people can watch more of your content and more of your ideas and how you do things and your ideas and identity. People need to be sold on three things before. That's you 40%, your mechanism 40%, and your outcome 20%. And you need more traffic to sell more. So more CTS promotions every day and on social media as well. Here are some things you need to change and why all this matters. Because content ecosystem gets you to no sales-based conversion needed, only videos and marketing-based conversions, and gives you authority, relatability, and proof, with providing results for yourself and for your clients, while standing out in your messaging with S pillars of content like solve, share, sell, and supply, and creating an us versus them dynamic if necessary. Don't be scared to do that. Because if you are like everybody else, then you cannot be a leader and you cannot make the most amount of money. And testimonials and your dream content, like what you are currently doing to get to your goals and what should your audience do to get to their goals. And macro content being 20% and specific micro content being 80% of the plan. Then we will come to like how we will do it. So the phase ideation clarity, phase two is content, phase two is content creation, and phase three is money machine. And a bonus phase which is for scaling. So through this entire process, you will be following rule of one. You build on one platform, selling one product offer to one customer avatar. Let's get into phase one, which is ideation clarity. So this phase is all about getting extremely clear and real about the situation. No sugarcoating, no feeling sorry for not going harder, just pure clarity on where you are and where you want to go. The point is to clearly define who you will be as a brand, the topics you will be focused around, and create assets to make content effortless. And there are three key assets in this. First is the brand questions. This is all about documenting your journey, what has got to where you are now. Our goal is to get people fall in love with you for who you are. And this is what platitude posters don't get. They start with optimizations first. Their entire content strategy is to follow trends and feed the algorithm what it wants. Problem is their core foundation is not existent. And all they offer is copy-paste version of what works for the algorithm. So there are no market leaders. How to answer your brand questions. Open a Google Doc and spell it all out. Divide it into chapters according to most important events. And use the following prompts as a guideline for your niche and journey, for your branding, and for your avatar ideation formula. And the avatar ideation is all about the character you want. In this case, the character is your ideal customer. And it works in three steps: their characteristics, their emotions, and the content topics they like to watch. Without a clear understanding of your ideal customer, you will never have clarity on who to speak to and how to speak to them. And you will never say anything with full conviction and never be able to boldly and loudly able to relate. How to do your avatar ideation. Spill out another Google Doc and define who your ideal customer is, their characteristics, their emotions, and content topics they like to see. And I will make one pain and one design from each above example to show you. And it also has the step-by-step breakdown of what I'm saying and how you will and the questions you need to ask. You will notice how brief they are. Because when we get into the content system, we will convert them into strong attention grabbing hooks and we can make dozens of hooks from each topic. And this will be an ongoing process, but once you relate to your avatar on such a deep level, you can inject it all into your content and all of your branding and immediately cut through the noise because you're speaking directly to their deepest pains and emotions. And then we will create our 10 out of 10 content list, which is very simple. You will create what is called a 10 out of 10 list. You want to figure out the 10 things that define who you are, the areas of interest, what you do most, etc. These become your 10 brand topics. And we want to build a well-rounded and versatile brand voice. A brand voice that builds authority and domain expertise from our valuable information in relation to our skill or knowledge. And that people can trust because they feel as if they know us from our social media content and it feels genuine and they connect with our humanity. And one that's not boring. For God's sake, you cannot be boring. A problem you will see with a lot of brands is that they are too one dimensional. They are either too educating or entertaining. You have to be a mix of both. So let us fill out your little secret. Three reasons people are on the internet: entertainment, information, and inspiration. So if you want to truly stand out, you have to dominate all three. Having all three is what makes an authority figure, not just one. So how to build a 10 or 10 content list? So first, select your 10 brand topics. And after you have your 10 brand topics, take each one of these and make your 10 top 10 ideas about each topic. These then become your full 10 or 10 ideas that you can turn into content. Now that you have your overall brand direction, you can start thinking about what general subtopics you can dive deeper into. Example, if I take first brand topic, social media marketing, I can turn it into 10 points. And you then do this to complete your full 100. This completes ideation. And if you're ever short of ideas, you can do this again. And phase two is content creation, which is now that we have clarity and direction and understanding of what we'll be talking about, it's time to start running your avatar tree, subtopics, and brand voice into actual content to be posted. And the point is to show how to create viral content that brings cash. First is platform selection, then content creation, and then daily content schedule. So platform selection. The main platforms you can post on are Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I personally don't find any others useful for my niche, and mostly you want to. You could add LinkedIn if you wanted to. And you pick the platforms you first grow your brand based on two criteria. Your avatar. Where does your avatar mostly hang out? Are they searching things on YouTube, engaging with news on Twitter, or swiping reels on Instagram? Maybe all of this, find out. And your strengths. What are your strengths or weakness? Are you good at speaking? You're good at writing, more inclined to fast dopamine fuel content? You have to be honest about it because ideally we want both to align. So it's easy to pick one. And in simplest way, I will tell you Insta for lead generation marketing and YouTube for nurturing and client results, building trust in both and what's best suited. So Twitter is best suited for written content, Instagram for short form videos and images, and YouTube for long form videos. And our recommendation is to start with one platform. Then once your content is dialed in and you're constantly growing, you can go on omni-channel to spread your message. It's easy to start with one platform and having it figured out, and then you can go on another. Next is the content creation system. It consists of planning and packaging. Planning includes creation of hooks and context based on the avatar, content topics, and our inspiration. Packaging includes taking those hooks, context, and turning them into complete pieces of content ready to be posted. So, what is a hook? Hook are the first 5 to 10 seconds of a video text made to capture your audience attention and give them no other choice other than continue watching. You pick a specific content idea and write a hook for it. We start with hooks. Why? Because hooks are the biggest lever you can pull when it comes to capturing attention on social media. If all you knew was this and your ideation, you could easily grow a following. And here's the detail on how you can make your own hooks and how hooks work with, with more examples like smack in the face with big idea, debunk an idea, confirm an existing belief or thought system, credibility or authority, and so transformation before and after. This is very good and very useful for a brand. An inspirational journey and music. Think like this. How clearly and concisely would you able to put your message if you only had one sentence to explain? Here's more on hooks, and then we come to our packaging content. So packaging is a lot to talk about in a document like this, mostly because every platform has its setups and intricacies. But I will give you my best practices for each platform I listed. Twitter includes single tweets and threads and long form. Instagram includes short videos and stories. Like Instagram short videos should be about a big idea and concept and pick your style, like B-roll with text, talking head or vlog style, whatever you want to do. And stories. Show your results, show your everyday life, your moments, and record videos and post them throughout your day and treat it like a mini blog. And YouTube is for long videos, like this should be a big idea and concept. Pick your style, again test and pick what works best for you. Serious sit down style, fully edited tutorial, or raw and uncut selfie style, blog style, whatever you want to do. Short videos, exact same process as Instagram above, community post, and then there are some elements of writing and elements of videos, content more appealing. And as I said above, it is nearly impossible to explain all of this in a document without 50 plus videos and a one-on-one conversation. There are so many layers of complexity to packaging. I could break each for 3 hours straight. But what I can tell you here is your hook does 50% of the work, and the way you deliver does the rest of the work. Basically, how compelling, clear, and shareable are you? Your packaging is less about the edits and more about who you come out to audience as a person. So now that you understand that, let's get them posting. So daily content schedule. We want to have a content flow going every single day so we are as prolific as possible. Now that you have your content flow going, you're constantly devoting 1 hour every day to distribute that fully packaged content to create max reach. And this is where we go back to rule of one. It is now your job to max out one platform along with daily, weekly actions for maxing them out. These things on Twitter, you can do 3 reels per day on Instagram or 5 stories per day. 3 reels per day is for starting only when we want to experiment and see what works on what not. A feed picture post per week. Carousel pictures also work very well for Instagram. Two long form videos max of 8 to 10 minutes per week or even one or even one 15-minute video per week works. So we will now see why we pick one platform. When you are just starting out, you're learning how a platform works, how people respond to content there, and now the style should ideally flow for your own unique brand. And takes a lot of bandwidth to do multiple, but it's actually surprisingly easy to max out just one. So here's how the algorithms work. You post content, it gets seen to people. If enough people engage with it, it gets shown to a lot more. And this repeats until the group it is shown to does not engage enough, then it dies. And if you post daily and got no followers, little views and not much traction, it is a you problem. The content is not good enough. And that's okay, you can fix it, but you just have to be honest about yourself where you are at. And leverage this opportunity while you can because the organic reach won't last forever, which means cash comes next. Remember, our goal is to gain 1,000 new followers every month, and it likely won't work out on day 12 to 15 or even day 30. Sometimes the content just takes time to click, and you need to position your camera, writing posture, etc. But once you have some followers, it's time to start collecting cash. Phase 3 is the money machine. Remember those fresh followers you started getting from phase 2? They started as random people, they turned into followers after seeing your content. Now they're seeing your content a bunch, which turns them into fans, and fans are the people that buy stuff. You will see how important content is. It turns random people into warm buyers, which means we can turn the money machine. And that phase consists of 5 parts: building the offer, the launch sequence, getting consistent leads, nurturing those leads, and selling and cash collection. So now that you have clarity, a content plan, and likely some followers, you can build an offer, launch it, start making money, and start reaping some real rewards. So this is where it gets fun. Let's get into it. Building the offer. This part will depend on your skills and what you build content around. There are three main things you can sell as a brand: courses, coaching services, or product. I don't recommend courses as you need to sell way more volume, and people also have bad reviews about courses and bad thinking. And so services, product, and coaching are the way to go as you can sell them for higher ticket prices and you can actually deliver some results for the few clients you're working. And this offer should be based on your skills and experiences just as your content is. And it should have a clear outcome to it as the main selling point and deliver a system that is basically a roadmap that takes a client from point A to point Z. So many of you reading this already have an offer. So if that's you, skip ahead a few sections. You can make your own offer. And after that, we will come to a loan sequence. So now that you have your offer structure, you need to put it out to the audience. And there's a lot that goes into it, but by far the easiest way to launch this is to put out a bold and direct offer on your social media channels. And a lot of people try to come up with funnels and landing pages, among other things. But all that does is add friction to the process, and all you want to do is validate there is demand for your offer. And the easiest way to do that is go on your social media channels and simply put it out here in the most concise and clear way possible. Like, this is what I do, this is how it will be delivered, here's the guarantee, here's the call to action, and send it. No friction, just validating, booking, sales calls, and selling customers. Then we will come to a flywheel, which is basically your all the social media platforms, like they are interconnected. Like someone can watch your ads, someone can come up to your content in your content can come up in someone's feed, someone can search for you. Whatever it is, they are coming across your name or coming across your brand. They basically revolve in your system. Like they will come from ads, they will watch your Instagram videos, they will watch your results, and then they will watch your YouTube videos, and they might attend some workshops. And after spending some time with your brand, they decide to buy. So Flywheel is an evergreen business model that you can go all in without the fear that your funnel might outdate and stop working one day suddenly. If you're doing it for a while, I bet you have used a few funnels. So instead of a funnel which relies on lead volume, Flywheel relies on lead efficiency. So there are four stages in life cycle of a high ticket client. Lead: someone who have earned the right to talk either in DMs or email. That can be a new follower engaged on your account, etc. A customer: someone who is transacted with us with a low ticket trust transaction, like workshop product. Client: someone who we can commit time and resources to help achieve a specific transformation. And case study: someone, a person or business who we have achieved a specific transformation with. The last one is most important because this is the fuel we need to sign more clients. case studies. You build trust with your audience by being honest and giving them insight of what really changes the metric. And Google dropped a study last year where they found out that for anyone to trust you enough to buy from you, they need to consume 7 hours worth of content from 11 different touchpoints and 4 different formats. And that's why long form content is a gold mine because YouTube is a search platform and you can build leverage through years. And another important factor is community, mainly email list because FB groups and other communities are lead magnets. But email list stays with you forever and is the single most important community you should be building as we rent attention on platforms not on them, but an email list we own. And last thing is ad, but I just said ads are expensive, yes, but for funnels. Then we'll come to our lead generation. So before you can collect cash, you need people who you can collect cash from, people who know you, trust you, and like you. And they need to feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and they need to be nurtured and taken care of. A perfect example of nurture is what we are doing through this document. And it's now your job to do it for yourself. So here's the structure of how I like to do this. And you can structure it as a free training, a case study, a mini course, or a cheat sheet, guide, or tool, or a free group, which is my favorite. And just pick one of them and we'll promote it constantly as a free resource alongside your offer. And this will drive daily leads, which means new people for you to speak to and sell to daily. And once you have lead, that doesn't mean you have done. This is where you must nurture them. Remember that email list and phone number we will collect it or the YouTube channel you made. Those are for nurturing them. After that comes sales and collecting cash. Everything up to this point has been for getting leads and indoctrinating our audience into knowing that you are the absolute best in the market and the ultimate solution to their problems. And the main driver of sales is content and document resources. But the second biggest driver is conversation and continued social proof. This means continuously posting results, thoughts, and content as always, and driving people to start a conversation, specifically with us inside the DMs. So once they're talking to us in the DMs, we need to send them or a product or a link where we can talk and see if they are a nice fit to work with. Just continue warming up your pipeline and following up in DMs so don't immediately book and you will smash on numbers. That's all you need to make $20,000 per month in minimum. And finishing phase three. So after completing this process, you now have a solid brand voice with full clarity that represents who you are, a unique avatar that you can speak directly to with content ideas, 10 additional topics and 100 ideas to consistently talk about, perfect ideation, one platform picked out and set up, the content creation logged and loaded. Could start getting some followers here and a perfectly positioned offer with a predictable sales system and a new stream of income and freedom. So your job is to have 20 to 30 warmed up sales conversation every single month. And it will take time for you to get good at it. That's okay as long as you're getting 1,000 new followers coming every single month. Or it depends on your niche. Like if you sell really high ticket coaching, like even something for $100,000 per month, or you're a real estate broker or something like that, you don't need 1,000 new followers, you just need two customers. But I want to leave you on a final note on phase three. Can you do this on your own? Yes. But I'll be honest, 90% of the people who say they will do this on their own end up following this free version of our system for a little, then end up failing over, never to be heard of again. Especially when nobody's trying your product. And the other 10% do end up trying it, but it takes them 2 years to fully grasp the concept. By then, it's already too late, and the market and our system has evolved. Plus, they cannot focus on the fulfillment and actually working with their clients. And I don't want that to be you. So why wait to learn on your own for 2 years or fail to even get started with? When you could hold your hand through the process with an exact game plan, improving per day so you start hitting your social media goals within 3 months. And if you're the serious person, you tell yourself you're deep down, you know what you need to do. Click here to learn exactly how it will work one with you. And then comes the bonus phase for my ambitious people for $100,000 per month or even $1 million per month. There are three inflection points of growing your social media brand: getting started, getting followers, getting some traction, getting your content sales and fulfillment to hit 20K per month, and building on top of that system and scaling to $100K per month or more. This is where it starts to get exciting. You start to actually realize how big this thing can get. Your content must be on lock, everything going smoothly and mostly on autopilot, and you should be making around 20 to $30K per month. And this is when we get into basic scaling. There are three elements of scaling, like building a team, automations and AI, and more leads and followers. We need to have a team, a small team, but of good people who can actually do their work and who can support you and who can and would you don't need to check on every day or every minute. So usually I recommend hiring as followers, hire assistant, a video editor, a fulfillment, bring in someone part-time to assist as you scale, sales team and a marketer. And the good news is we can literally provide you with the top three assistant, video editor, and fulfillment because that's literally what we do. And finding a sales guy for you by making him understand your model and expectations can also be done from our side. And after all your roles are set, you can focus entirely on one thing only, ideating and creating content at the highest level and getting results for the clients. This is how you get your time back so you can focus on effort, so you can focus on tasks that move the needles. And we do that even further with automations and AI. So you can automate most of your boring stuff, and you can also use AI to make some things, some streamlined flows or that does a specific job inside your company and more leads and followers. So we start by running ads that extract more leads from our current brand. Now comes more growth. So now that you have leads machine turned on full force, this is where you add fuel to the organic fire. If something is working with organic marketing and content, this will 10 times it easily. First, you build a team and automation so you can get your time back and put that new energy into your content. Second, you push your winners harder. You will do this by buying shoutouts, reposts from bigger accounts pages to maximize exposure to your content. And you simply let your winners run. If you had a winning video where you get 1 million views, people surely liked it. Finishing scale phase. So after completing these steps, you should have a clear path to $100K per month, $200,000 per month, and your time semi removed from the operation, and a small team of people and automations working for you. For this phase to be successful, you need to be growing your brand faster at the same time as you fulfill more clients. Because remember, you need 20 new clients at $5K per month to hit 100K per month. And this is a simple 5x increase from 20K. And it happens only if you build a strong foundation at 20K per month that can be used as a launchpad to new heights. So once you are here, you're pretty much done. Can you do this on your own? Yes. But I've already discussed going on the solo journey above. It's especially hard when you are a new business owner who sees success fast. Getting to $100,000 per month can be scary. And I don't want it to be you. So why wait to learn on your own for 2 years or even fail to get started with when you can hold your hand to the process with an exact game plan, improving per day. When you start hitting your social media, still unsure, I will leave you on a final note. The only difference between success seeing individuals and normal individuals is successful people roll the dice while mediocre people look for everything to be handed to them. And you have to decide if you want to have years in trial and error or really want to make changes if you are ambitious enough. After you are done, it is the last sheet, which is our goal of how to close in the DMs. So this is the psychology behind the communication basically of how to communicate in the DMs. It is very easy, but first you have to do those things to come here, and it is the step-by-step breakdown how we will do it. So yeah, it has been a long video and permission from you to leave and have a good day. And you can message me and we can see if you are a good fit and can we make you more money while saving your time. So thank you.